ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Thursday night. Got a special event for you here at Langley. It's the Fort Chiswell RV Park 200 Last Chance Qualifier Race. It's going to be a 50-lap event with the top 5 finishers in this event. We'll move on to tonight's feature being broadcasted shortly after this little race here, this heat race here. We're going to go play the national anthem when we come back. We'll let you know what's going on, what type of cars you're going to see, and the action you can expect here at Langley. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell, bringing you the action here tonight as the Championship Racing Association is putting on a nice little heat and a feature race here at Langley. It's the Fort Chiswell RV Park 200, and right now the last chance qualifiers going to start their qualifying session. That's right, the top 5 drivers in this 50-lap heat race event will move on to tonight's feature, as the heat races for the top 14 positions were already locked in a couple of weeks ago. Due to some delays, we have got it for you here tonight on both parties, I should say, had some delays in action, but we are glad to be able to bring this to you this Thursday night. And it looks like instead of qualifying, they're just going to go ahead and take them right to the grid. No, right from practice, so there is no qualifying session. These guys are just going to be put right on the grid. Typically, we would see a qualifying session, but this is what your driver's grid's going to look like as we believe this is what it is. Tanner Cook, Timothy Barnes, Brad Carpenter, Heath Smith, Brandon Kreutz, David Rockline, Robbie Bundin, and Kyle Leverald. So again, the top 5 drivers, 3 being left out in this heat race. And here the cars are ready to rock and roll. So they go off for the first of the 2 pace laps, and while they are pacing, let's take a quick look at the racetrack here, folks. Here at Langley Speedway, it's a 0.4 mile track, 82 degrees in the air, 80% humidity, mostly cloudy, and 82 degrees matching on the pavement. Again, the feature race, 150 lap feature race to come momentarily after this heat race is over with. These are the K&N series cars before they made the switch. Running the older style bodies on these machines as they come into the backstretch. Pace car will be set to go into the pits. There goes the pace car, the green flag's out, and the heat race is underway. And already Tanner Cook in that Hardee's number 18 car to the outside of the number 2. And Heath Smith battling hard for that race lead. See back there in 3rd position, Brandon Kreutz trying to make a move. These laps are going to go by quick with these fast K&N series cars. And a nice little battle continues up front as Tanner Cook to the outside of Heath Smith. And now Heath Smith in the number 2 machine has taken over the race lead here into lap number 3. David Rockline, the 52 car, moving up in that Rockstar Energy car in 3rd position. As Kyle Leverald, the number 7 machine, back there in 4th, rounding out your top 5. The 87 of Robbie Bundin in the Pennzoil. And that Cole Trickle Superflow number 46 car to the inside. That's Timothy Barnes. In turns 3 and 4, he's going to pass and take over the top 5 slot. But look at this battle up front as Heath Smith still has a nice little gap, about a 0.4 second lead over Tanner Cook as he works his way into the 4th turn here, heading towards lap number 6. Screaming into the 1st turn, he's going to work that lower groove, hugging that yellow line as Tanner Cook just still back under 0.4 second now in that 18 Hardee's car into the 3rd turn. Looks to catch some ground coming out of the 4th turn, but there is Kyle Leverald back in 3rd position, about 4 or 5 car lengths off of Tanner Cook. Right behind him, David Rockline still trying to hold off the 46 of Timothy Barnes as they work their way into turns 3 and 4 here on lap number 7. Across that start-finish line, it looks like the 52 of Rockline's having some connection issues. Back up front, Heath Smith still has the lead. Total of 7 laps led here for the number 2 car. As he comes across the start-finish line, this Georgia driver, 8 total laps led so far in this race. Looking really solid to make that heat feature, or main feature, coming after this heat race. Tanner Cook behind him. Out of turn number 4, comes across that start-finish line. Total almost the 1 second gap now between Smith and Cook. And again, folks, the top 5 drivers in this heat session, or this heat race, I should say, will be starting 14th and 15th and back. Top 14 drivers are already locked in. We'll see those later on in the feature. So these guys are at best racing for position number 15th and back in the main. Looks like Timothy Barnes around Brad Carpenter, the 31 car. There is your cutoff point, this Northwest driver, the number 31. Rockleen back behind him, just outside the advancing position. In the backstretch, Heath Smith towards 3 and 4 here, heading into lap number 14. Nice sizable lead now as he works his way into the first turn. Just about a second and a half off. Tanner Cook, the Virginia driver tonight, started second. And a lot of connection issues plaguing this number 18 car. Hopefully he's going to be able to hold on to it. Look at the battle back behind him as Kyle Leverett now to the inside. Timothy Barnes with a nice aggressive move into turns 1 and 2. And that Superflow 46 is going to take over the third position slot. Leverett falls back to fourth. Just a little patience game with short track racing in the 46 Superflow Cole Trickle tribute car has now moved its way into the backstretch, starting to pull away from Kyle Leverett. Brad Carpenter still sitting secure in the top 5 as he works his way into lap number 17. Bouncing around as we come to the number 2 car into the 18th lap. Heath Smith now in cruise control mode with a 1.8 second gap over this guy right here, Tanner Cook, who's in the backstretch heading towards turn number 3. As we follow Tanner Cook right behind him, Timothy Barnes and Kyle Leverett. Barnes looking to close the gap there on Cook. Any position will help into the main feature, and he's going to try to get past the 18. With every turn, he is gaining some ground. Let's see what he can do, folks. 2 Virginia drivers battling now into the backstretch as the 46 car is closing the gap on the 18. Here comes Timothy Barnes. Tanner Cook dives it into turn number 1. Oh, almost up to the bumper. Timothy Barnes knocking at the back door as Tanner Cook's going to go 3 and 4, and no dice there out of turn number 4. Boy, the 18 car of Tanner Cook has got to hold on to that position. A very, very hungry Timothy Barnes behind him. Timothy Barnes down underneath the yellow line. One little slip up from that 18 machine, and this 46 car is going to go by in a hurry. We saw that happen to Kyle Leverett. Can it happen here with Tanner Cook? Nice little battle, and now he looks to the inside yet again. Does he have enough? Looks like Tanner Cook's going to swing wide and down under the yellow line. Goes the 46, but a crossover move. Beautiful racing as Tanner Cook is not going to let Timothy Barnes steal that position away with such ease. As now the 18 car of Cook to the inside. Timothy Barnes to the high side. We got a nice side-by-side battle in the backstretch. Heading into turn number 3, some contact made. That's going to send the 46 car up the track just a little bit. And Tanner Cook, just like that, will receive some give and take back from Timothy Barnes. Barnes to the inside of Cook, down the backstretch. And it looks like Cook's going to make contact with the wall, and he is cutting the course. Boy, these guys are battling hard as Timothy Barnes now into second position, but here comes Tanner Cook yet again. And Leverett just outside the 2 as he's watching from behind the side-by-side action just ahead of him. And now the 18 of Tanner Cook back into second position as Leverett looks to go to the inside. Boy, these guys are using that apron. Tanner Cook now into turn number 3 here on lap number 28, just ahead of the 46 of Timothy Barnes. Oh, and he's going to get rear-ended. He'll save it as they all slow up. Leverett tries to get to the inside. He's going to go for 2 slots here. Kyle Leverett's going to get it, so he goes to second position. And now, Timothy Barnes right behind Leverett looks to the inside. These guys are going hard. This is the last chance qualifier, folks, and they are racing like they have no tomorrow on hand. The 18 of Tanner Cook back in fourth position behind Kyle Leverall. Leverall is going to tag the bumper of Timothy Barnes. Gets him a little bit loose.
Caution is out.
And it looks like the 93 of Brandon Kreutz is going to get spun in the backstretch. Maybe a voluntary spin here as we go back and take a look at the replay. So as we follow that 93 car into the backstretch, one lap prior, the Halimar, the sponsor on that 93 car as he comes across the front stretch. See the looseness there. It looks like the rear end's going to catch him, and right there he's going to make contact with the wall, slamming on the brakes, locking him up. And that is going to bring out that first caution flag. And I tell you what, look at that. Look at the battle right there. Barnes ahead of Leverall and Cook. Couldn't have come at a more opportune time to calm the nerves of these guys. I know it's the last chance qualifier, but these guys are racing like there is no tomorrow. Give a special shout out to Kyle Souza and Thunderdog Motorsports out there in the YouTube chat. Tuning in to watch us this Thursday night. Appreciate it. And that guy right there, Heath Smith. One of the cars to beat tonight. Very fast looking car. We'll have to see if he can carry this momentum forward into the feature. That 150 lap feature coming up. They're going to have less than 15 laps to go as they cross that start finish line. The lights should be off that pace car. And we'll get one more lap of pacing. Why not? This is what your top five looks like. This is your cutoff point. Heath Smith, Timothy Barnes, Kyle Leverall, Tanner Cook, and Brad Carpenter. Right there, those are guys that currently are going to advance if they make it across the checkered flag in such order. Start-finish line when the checkered flag falls. Just unbelievable, and we're now seeing an 87 car, Robbie Bundon, messing with these guys up here. They get a wave around. I believe he's one lap down, so he's going to get a wave around as the lights come off the pace car. Or is he just going to hang out there? You know the lights are off the pace car. He's going to be to the inside of Heath Smith. This is interesting to see how this lineup works. But the pace car will be back into the pits. Flagman's ready to give the signal as the pace car into turn number 4. Makes its way onto pit road.
Green flag, green
and the
flag.
green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap 37. Oh, and the 87 car
Caution is out.
Restarts always an issue. And we got a big pile up there in turns 1 and 2. And oh, some hostility there from the 93 of Kreutz. Right to the side of Bundon. 31 as we're following Brad Carpenter. Let's go back and take a look here. And we're going to follow from Bundon's perspective here. Behind Bundon. And it looks like Leverall was already getting spun out. Some contact off of Heath Smith, so Robbie Bundon is going to go for a spin on the inside. Kreutz is going to get loose. And wow, take a look at this. Tanner Cook getting some airtime right in front of Carpenter. The 52 of Rockleen is going to go for a spin, and wow, Tanner Cook. Big major pile up. Pace car better look out. He's just going to go through Tanner Cook. No insurance needed for that Mustang iRacing pace car, folks. Tanner Cook. Boy, that car looks like it's been a few bouts with Mike Tyson right there into the backstretch. Down there on pit road, you can see it's all muddied up, scuffed up on the side. Brandon Kreutz behind him. So Timothy Barnes, the aggressor, the 46 Superflow Chevrolet, behind the number 2 of Heath Smith. So I wonder if we're going to see single file restarts here. So talk out there in the chat, race control, seeing that double file restart. With about 10 laps to go, it makes sense to go to a single file restart to avoid any possible chance of ending this one under the yellow. And Robbie Bunden in the top 5 slot. 1 lap down. He is at the cutoff point. Here's what it looks like, folks. Heath Smith, Timothy Barnes, Brad Carpenter, David Rockling, Robbie Bunden, your top 5. Lights will be coming off the pace car the next time by. We'll be back green with 7 laps to go. Pace car out of 2 into the back stretch. The number 2 of Heath Smith. 8 more laps, soon to be 7 when he crosses that start-finish line. Can he do it? Timothy Barnes is going to be giving him a heck of a fight, though. We'll see how it plays out. Pace car ready to hit the pits. There it goes.
Green flag.
And the green flag flies. 7 laps to go. Into turns 1 and 2. Heath Smith. Boy, they guys are forgetting about that yellow line and going right for the grass. Who needs an apron? Just take it all the way to the grass. Heath Smith out of turn number 4 into the front stretch. Has about a car-and-a-half length lead over the 46 of Timothy Barnes. Barnes back in second position. Right behind him, the 31 of Brad Carpenter. Has David Rockling to the inside of Brandon Coots. But it looks like Coots is going to push high. Leverall to the inside as well. Out here pretty much solidified unless they wreck. The number 2 of Heath Smith has the race lead. Just about 0.3 of a second lead over the 46 of Timothy Barnes. Into the front stretch they go with 4 laps remaining. These guys trying to get into that heat or the feature race. Rockling now into third position. Will pass the 31 of Carpenter. Here comes Robbie Bunden just to the outside. And Brad Carpenter, just like that, is going to be outside the top 5. Here comes Brandon Coots. Heath Smith into turn number 3. He's going to have 2 to go when he crosses that start-finish line. Timothy Barnes back in second. So it will be Heath Smith seeing the white flag the next time by Robbie Bunden. Can he hold on? That number 87 car has Brad Carpenter behind him. As now the white flag's in the air for Heath Smith. Just 2 more turns to go as he exits turn number 2 into the backstretch. Looks like he's going to do it, folks. Here he comes to the checkered flag. Heath Smith, Timothy Barnes, David Rockling, Robbie Bunden, and Brad Carpenter. Those are going to be the guys advancing. We hear the fireworks in the air for this heat race. No expense spared with the Championship Racing Association League. And even, there it is, a little bit of firework action there off the 3rd and 4th turn. It's shown via Brad Carpenter, but it's that guy right there, Heath Smith, coming away with the victory. So these guys will have a chance to get down there and talk it out in their pits, get ready for the main feature race. We're going to see if we can get a quick word here with the number 2 car of Heath Smith. Talk a little bit about what he endured in this heat race, what we can expect going into the feature. So Heath, tell us, nice job out there. The fireworks are still going out there. Tell us, what are your thoughts on this little 50-lap heat race, and what can we expect in the feature?
Well, it's going to be a very good race. I think I'm going at the start. I heard 15th coming from the last chance race here. So The track felt pretty good. The setup feels pretty good. So I think you'll see a good race here.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Give you some time to get things worked out down there in pit road. We'll look forward to see you in the feature here in just a little bit.
Thank you.
So here's the quick results on the screen, folks. Heath Smith, Timothy Barnes, David Rockleen, Robbie Bundit, and Brad Carpenter making the top 5 cutoff. The last chance qualifier to get in the main feature. So what is going to happen now? We are going to take a short break. When we come back, it's going to be probably about 20 minutes. We're going to pause the stream here. When we come back, we will be ready for that feature. So don't go anywhere, folks. Go somewhere, get something to drink, get something to eat, use the restroom, do whatever you got to do. Take a short breather because you're going to see some great action like this with another 14 cars piled on top. So you definitely want to stay tuned for this, folks. So we will be right back in just a short bit.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
So I'm Dan Garrison, engineer at iRacing. I've been working on dynamic track and wanted to take the lab coat off to kind of give an update on what I've been doing to enhance things on the asphalt side, what we're kind of calling the dynamic track version 2. When we started looking at dirt and the interaction between the tire and the track, kind of pointed us to some things we could improve on the asphalt side as well. We were able to kind of rework the calculations that account for heat transferring generally in the direction from the tire to the track. The track will cool a little bit faster when cars are not on it, but more significantly, cars running on the track are going to impart more energy into it, bringing the temperature up and changing the racing experience so that you do have to be wary of the track getting hot and reducing your grip. I've been rethinking some of the calculations that determine kind of how the rubber is torn, whether it's how much is torn from the tire, how much is torn from a rubbered-in track. I've made some changes so that rolling tire will pick up more rubber. We also looked at the thickness of the rubber under the contact patch and realized we can make improvements to the model there. As a result, we're able to make the tire respond a little bit more to how much rubber is there. We're able to influence how fast the track rubbers in areas where the tires are working hard. So I'm excited about these changes that we're making. The temperature in the track is going to be a lot more dynamic. It's going to mean you're going to have to dive around looking for the cool parts of the track. I think it's going to make the different lines come in and change the racing experience, and I'm really kind of excited to see how this is going to change things following the September build when it comes out.
How much longer do you want to wait for Dave to talk about this dart release?
Why? What's he doing?
I'm pretty sure he's playing Pokemon again.
Again?
Yes, again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcast Network this Thursday night. It is the main feature time, the Fort Chiswell RV Park 200 here at Langley Speedway. Had a chance to take a look earlier if you tuned in for the heat race, the 50-lap heat race, the top 5 drivers. Moving on into tonight's race, here is what your track information looks like if you haven't seen it already. Here at Langley, 4/10 of a mile track, 82 degrees in the air, also on the pavement, mostly cloudy. 80% humidity, so not a lot of conditions changing from the heat race here to the feature. And a lot of the drivers down there on the track finishing out their practice laps. Just about a minute left here before we go qualifying. K&N Series cars down there, if you tuned in for that heat race, these things are like tanks on wheels. They are able to withstand a lot of bumping and banging in these turns without losing a lot of grip. So we'll have to see how this will play out in the race. A lot of side-by-side action anticipated here tonight, and a lot of door slamming as well as they fight for the positions here in this 150-lap event. If you like what they do and when the information they got out there on the web for you, ChampionshipRacingAssociation.com, also put the links to the Good Sam Park and the Fort Chiswell RV Park out there. If you're looking to make a vacation, still got some time before the winter season or fall season, beautiful time of the year when the leaves change. You can find that link down there in the web as well. Give them a check out. Good Sam Park's always doing some great things as far as giving you nice little vacation getaways. So just about 30 seconds remaining here before we make it to the grid. As we see the drivers down there putting their final lines to their mental thought there. And it looks like tonight we are going to have a shortened field. It looks like about 5-6 drivers being disqualified in tech inspection. Fortunately, some things not working out there. Most of the guys using a different style setup on the car did not make it through tech inspection, so we're going to see a little bit lighter of a field than anticipated here tonight, but they are still going to put on a great race show. We got to see about 7 cars go at it, and we'll have to see what happens when you add some more to it here in this main feature. So here's what your grid's going to look like. It's going to be Nathan the Wrecking Ball Hurlburt up front on the pole, Timothy Barnes to the outside, Tanner Cook, Corey Bodnott, Joshua Hart, David Rockleen, Kyle Leverald, Robbie Bunden, Heath Smith, Brad Carpenter are your top 10. And another Nathan Hurlburt appeared. Some of these guys looking in the back, lining up. And Joshua Hart actually going to be up front. Still has the 95, still has yet to make his way out to the grid. So they are going to pull away. Pace car pulls away, and if Hart does not make it out in time, he'll have to start from the pits 1 lap down. So it looks like it's going to be the 52 of Rockleen and the 31 of Carpenter out front. Race control, but jarbling the paperwork for me here in the booth. They get one thing and got another, but it's all right, folks. It's going to be a great race. Last pace lap underway as the pace car into turn number 1, now turn number 2. 150 laps of good short track race action coming at you here this Thursday night. Pace car set to go into the pits. Flag man's ready to give the signal. And there goes the pace car.
Green, green, green.
The green flag flies. 150 laps of the Fort Chiswell RV Park 200 coming your way. Out of turn number 4, the 52. of Rockling has the race lead to 31 of Carpenter. The 7 of Leverall back on just about a car length gap between the 31 of Carpenter and himself. Hurlbird back there in 4th position. Robbie Bundon just outside in the top 5. Tanner Cook. Some of the guys there from the heat race as we see Tanner Cook, Timothy Barnes, Heath Smith, and Corey Boatnut. So Joshua Hart, the 95 car, did not make it out on the track. So he will be a scratch here for the main. The 52 of Rockling into turns 3, now heading into turn 4, has the 31 of Carpenter on his bumper into the front stretch. Watch him to work the lower groove as the 7 of Leverall is going to push into the middle of the back stretch. He's trying to avoid contact there with Brad Carpenter in turns 1 and 2. Out of turn 4 now, across the front stretch. Oh, and a little bit of slide from Hurlbert. Boy, he must have thought he was on a dirt track or something. Tanner Cook's going to take on the inside. He'll settle up right in front of the 46 of Timothy Barnes. Barnes now to the inside, will pass Hurlbert. Heath Smith trying to do the same, will not have the room there in the first couple turns. As it looks like Hurlbert's going to push up the track. Heath Smith to the inside will pass, and now Heath Smith moves up to 7th position. Up front, David Rockling out of turn number 4. Carolina driver going to be tough to beat tonight in that Chevrolet as he works his way. Oh, with some connection issues out of turn number 2. Brad Carpenter back. Not too far behind him, just 7/10, 8/10 of a second. See the leader just ahead of this Northwest driver. In 3rd position, Robbie Bundon, the Michigan driver, working his way through turn number 4. Trying to hold off the 18 of Tanner Cook. Cook looks to the inside, dives it down in turns 1 and 2. And he's going to lose the momentum, but no, he's going to get it back. Looked like the outside group was going to have the momentum coming out of that second turn, and boy, did Leverall lose a lot of positions in a hurry. Leverall went from 3rd to 9th just like that. That's how competitive this is tonight, folks. So Tanner Cook in 3rd position, about 2.2 seconds behind Rockling. Rockling into turn number 3, all by his lonesome. Brad Carpenter works his way into the first turn here on lap 14. Close-knit battle here between Cook, Barnes, and Smith. Barnes now just about a half a car length behind Cook. Looks to the inside, going to give him a little contact. Little check-up action there. Heath Smith back in the top 5. Following that 18 car of Tanner Cook. And we've got somebody out of control. Looks like Corey Boatnut. Club Ohio driver makes his way into turn number 1, has fallen back 1 lap down into 9th position. Tough break there, got a little loose into turns 3. Now into the backstretch on lap number 17. Brad Carpenter chasing down the 52 of David Rockling. In that Rockstar Energy number 52 car, been the fast car all night, 16. Now 17 laps led for the 52 car. Into turns 3 and 4 they go. You can see the lap 3 position 3rd, Tanner Cook. Timothy Barnes, Heath Smith catching up. Rockling doesn't have the gap that he had. He had 1.2 to 2.5 seconds over 2nd and 3rd respectively. Has now closed down to under a second between the 2 positions. So the 52 of David Rockling has a lot of traffic coming up on his bumper in a hurry. That's still some connection issues there for Rockling, but it doesn't seem to be affecting them. So we take a look here from Brad Carpenter just off the back of him. Take you down to the nose camera there of Rockling. There is the nose camera. We are on board here with Brad Carpenter. As you can see, the Rockstar Energy Chevrolet of David Rockling just ahead of him. Back behind him is Tanner Cook. This is how intense these cars are moving through the track. Take a look at that. 75, he's going to rocking up over 100 miles an hour before he has to slow way down to about 68. So a matter of 40 miles an hour in between the front stretch and the turns, folks. That's the rapid speed changes that these guys are experiencing, trying to get somewhere around the track. Ultimately, up front where David Rockling is. Right on Tanner Cook's bumper, Timothy Barnes, the 46 Superflow Chevrolet. Working his way into the front stretch into lap number 27. To the inside, going to use a little apron action. Heath Smith has to check up. Robbie Bunden back in 6th position. Has climbed his way from the depths. Kyle Lepper, a lot of damage there in the back and on the front of that car. So he works his way through turns 3 and 4. Started 5th here tonight. What a beautiful battle. Rockling has pulled away now yet to almost a 1 second gap between the rest of the field, as Brad Carpenter can't say the same, as Tanner Cook's going to get a little contact from Barnes. This is what we mean when we say these cars are like tanks, folks. Had that been a Gen 6 car, had it been any other type of car, and you might have seen an incident yellow flag come out from a spin out there out of turn number 4. Cook has nowhere to go. He's going to get a bump there from Barnes, which is going to be enough to get him to the inside of Carpenter. And now Tanner Cook in that Hardee's 18 Chevrolet goes into 2nd position as Brad Carpenter's going to push up the track. Here comes Timothy Barnes and Heath Smith. They're going to look to the inside. Brad Carpenter now falling back to 4th position. Heath Smith is going to try to dive it here in turn number 3 to keep him up in the middle groove. He's going to get it. And now Heath Smith up into 4th position. So Carpenter falls back to 5th as Robbie Bunden looks to come up now and take that 5th position slot away. Will not have the momentum here into turns 3 and 4. They'll have to look for it in 1 and 2. Bunden on the back of Carpenter's bumper. Rockling had a nice sizable lead, pretty much had Brad Carpenter blocking the field, but not anymore. Here comes Tanner Cook and Timothy Barnes in a hurry. Boy, is Barnes really sticking it to the 18's bumper. He's going to try to run him on the outside. Big mistake there as Heath Smith was rocking on the inside. He's going to cut it back to the lower groove. So Barnes now works still behind Cook, just about 2 car lengths of a gap here on lap 37. Rockling across the start-finish line, still ahead, and Bodnut nearly becoming a spectacle on the front stretch as these guys were coming in a hurry. Tough break there for the 34 car. Go back and take a look at the replay. Gonna have some apron contact there in 3. Into the front stretch, and he's just gonna slide it out, lose some grip. Can he avoid the concrete barriers? Nope. He's gonna make contact just on that last barrier and come to a stop. And take a look at this, folks. Here's how fast Rockland and Company was coming around the track. He was stopped. Yellow flag right about this point gets thrown, and they're just crossing that start-finish line, and they're going to come at him in a quick, fast fashion. Right there, you're going to see Rockland barely miss Bodnot as Cook, Barnes, and Smith all stay up high to avoid any possible contact. So David Rockland up front with a total of 40 laps led so far in this race. Still having a little bit of connection issues there, the little blinking action from the 52, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him. If anything, it's more of a factor for the 18 car of Tanner Cook right back there in second. Let's take a look at your top 5. So it is Rockland, Cook, Barnes, Smith, and Carpenter. Field's going to get bunched up. It's going to be single file restarts, I believe, when the lights come off the pace car here when it crosses that start-finish line. So we will have a single file restart. Pace car set to go into the pits this time by Flagman's ready to give the signal. See him getting ready for that. Pace car's into the pits.
Green flag, green
and
flag.
The green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap 44. And Cook looking to the inside of Rockland here in turns 3 and 4. Barnes really on his bumper. Tanner Cook. Can he get around that 52 Rockstar Chevrolet of David Rockland? Into the front stretch with a little helping hand of the 46 of Timothy Barnes. Barnes still on the back of Cook. Rockland starting to pull away. About to a quarter-second gap now as they come out of turn number 4 into lap 48. Smith back there in third position, or fourth, excuse me. He's trying to get around Timothy Barnes. Out of the fourth turn into the front stretch into lap number 50. Just about 1/3 of the race completed here as Rockland into the third and now fourth turn, still holding off the 18 of Tanner Cook. Cook really digging for that inside. When will he get his opportunity? Little nerve-wracking there, having the car ahead of you blinking like it is. He's going to give him a little bit of a nudge here. A little bit of short track bump and run, as they say. Get the guy tight in the turn and get underneath him so you can pass him. Cook looks yet again to the inside of Rockleen. Little miscue there from Heath Smith. He's going to fall off the pace just a little bit. Nice close-knit battle for the top spot as these top 4 cars really, really close, all under 1 car length or less gap between each position. As we take a look at Robbie Bunden coming across the start-finish line into the first turn, trying to hold off Kyle Leveralt. Brad Carpenter, the story of the night, this guy started on the outside row of that first row, the outside position of the first row in second position, has fallen back to 7th. You can see a little damage there on the right side of the car. May have gotten a little wall contact coming out of the turn. Rockling just ahead as Barnes is going to get around Cook. Turn number 4, and now Barnes on the move. Smith going to try to pass Tanner Cook here for 3rd position. And Smith looks like he's getting momentum in turns 1 and 2, but in turns 3 and 4, it's kind of holding him back just a little bit. He's not getting the advantage he wants. Look at him look at the inside here in turn number 2, forcing that 18 car down. But Tanner Cook really watching the number 2 car behind him more than he is trying to get to the 46. And unfortunately, it's causing him to fall off the pace. As Timothy Barnes now looks to challenge Rockleen for the lead. Just lower than the yellow line coming out of turn number 2. Let's see what happens here in the front stretch. Oh, and Tanner Cook dirt tracking it. He's going to go spinning, but what a beautiful save from Tanner Cook, the 18 car, to his outside. Heath Smith going to run that outside line. And they're going to file back up in the lower groove here coming out of turn number 2. Come across the start-finish line. Here comes Barnes to the inside, really trying to be aggressive to Rockleen, and he's going to work it. He's got the door. This is a legal inside pass now, forcing Rockleen up the track. Here comes Timothy Barnes out of turn number 4. Rockleen going to go to the wall, and a nice little side-by-side action for the race lead. Last lap credited to one of the 46 of Timothy Barnes. Putting a dent there in that perfect action, but it looks like Rockleen may have gotten that one by a nose, so 64 total. Laps led for the 52 of David Rockleen in that Rockstar Energy Chevrolet. To the outside of the Superflow car of Timothy Barnes now takes over the race lead. Got ahead of him, but Rockleen looks to the inside, and a little crossover action. He's going to get stunted on the inside. Oh! What a looseness action from the 46, and now Tanner Cook is going to come up, and here comes Heath Smith. Nearly had some 3-wide action. And the 46 of Timothy Barnes from 1st to 4th, just like that. After a miscue out of turn number 2, pushed him up the track. Tanner Cook, Heath Smith was able to take him on the inside, but David Rockleen back to the race lead. Total of 66 laps led. You see there his fast lap time here tonight, 15.163. That Carolina driver saw what it was like not to be in first, and he is not wanting to go back anywhere but be in the lead of this race. To the inside, Tanner Cook tries to swing it. He's going to try to do a little bit of late lifting here to see if he can catch some ground, but unfortunately it plays against him. Here comes Heath Smith, not going to really work the inside, had the opportunity to. Didn't want to push any luck. Out of turn number 4, the top 4 yet again. Back to a single file action. Leveralt's able to get around Bunden and Carpenter. Robbie Bunden currently running 7th position. Brad Carpenter back there in 6th, coming out of turn number 4. Here comes Rock Lean in turns 3 and 4 now. Out of the 4th turn into the front stretch. Into lap number 75. Only 3 laps this guy has not led. 2 of them to Timothy Barnes back in 4th position. And now Tanner Cook looks to the inside here on lap 76. They're going to come down for a halfway pit stop action. While they go for their pit stop action, we are going to go take a short commercial break. When we come back, we have the second half of the Fort Chiswell RV Park 200 here at Langley. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Langley this Thursday night for the Fort Chiswell RV Park 200. Dramatic turn of events as they were coming off of pit road. When we went to commercial break, you saw the great hard racing that took place. Unfortunately, David Rocklean got spun down on pit road, had some damage. He got spun out and has yet to return. So Timothy Barnes, Tanner Cook, Heath Smith, Kyle Everalt, and Brad Carpenter are your top 5. As the lights come off the pace car, next time around, there's what your top 5 looks like. race summary there for you. 5 lead changes here tonight, 2 total cautions in the first 83 laps of this race. So the lights now off the pace cars, single file restart. It is going to be Timothy Barnes at the head of the field. Have Tanner Cook, Heath Smith, Kyle Everall, Brad Carpenter behind him to round out the top 5. Pace car set to go into the pits at the entry to turn number 4. Here it goes.
Green flag.
Green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap 86. And a very aggressive move from the 7 of Leveralt. He's going to try to get past Heath Smith. Fortunately, not going to work out well for him there. A little bit of push action from Carpenter was going to allow Bunden to make some contact there coming out of turn number 2. Heath Smith trying to get back up towards Tanner Cook. And Bunden yet again making contact. Got some double wide action into turn number 3 as Bunden goes to the inside, as well as Carpenter of Leveralt. Leveralt is going to fall back behind Bunden here in turn number 1 here on lap 89. Leveralt tries to work his way back around the 87, so Leveralt settles up in 6th position. Carpenter to 4th. To follow the 2 of Heath Smith back behind Tanner Cook. Into the backstretch towards the 3rd turn, working that lower groove, the 46 of Timothy Barnes in the Superflow Chevrolet. Total of 13 laps led now. Nice even pacing here between the top 3 positions. Jumping back into 4th, that is Brad Carpenter. Pennzoil 87 of Robbie Bunden. Just ahead of Kyle Leveralt. Here is the onboard cam of the Michigan driver into the backstretch. See the working of the lower groove here tonight. Hugging that lines, yellow and white lines through turns 3 and 4 and in 1 and 2. Kyle Leveralt's going to go by the inside there. And the Bojangles Chevrolet moves back into the top 5. Nice 3-wide action as Barnes is going to have some issues. Cook. Oh, the pit cone gets taken out. Tanner Cook takes back over the race, or goes into the race lead, I should say, not back to the race lead. Timothy Barnes second. Here comes Brad Carpenter to the inside of Heath Smith. He's going to move into 3rd. Barnes on the bumper of Cook coming out of 2. He's going to make a little bit of a contact there. Heath Smith looking to the inside of Carpenter. Barnes now looks to cross the inside of Cook, and it's going to do it. Side by side with a little bit of door slam. Oh, and Tanner Cook may have had a flat tire. Oh, wow. Is he going to get pinballed? Oh, my goodness. Tanner Cook got pinballed. Heath Smith's going to get the brunt of it.
Caution is out.
Let's go back and take a look at this. Wow. Watch what happens to Tanner Cook here on the front stretch. May have had a tire start to go down. As you notice, he's starting to sway a little bit. The contact right here, you see him swinging it. But right here, the three wide action starts with contact from Carpenter, comes down into Smith. And right there, Heath Smith slams that wall hard. And that may have blown his engine. So we see some heavy black smoke coming out of the hood of that car. This is the Fort Chiswell RV Park 200 here at Langley. Just under about 45 laps remaining in tonight's race. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, more race action to come your way. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back. Under the green here this Thursday night at Langley. Here on lap 112, Brad Carpenter at the race lead. Leverone back in second position, Barnes back in third. Tanner Cook was relegated to the back of the field and has now worked his way back into the top four slot. Robbie Bunden and Heath Smith. Heath Smith down there, as we showed you there before we went to commercial break, had ensued a major contact with that inside wall right before turn number 1. Pretty much taking him out of the race. Barnes now to the inside. Leverall will take over second position out of turn number 4. Into turn number 3, Leverall has Cook right behind him. See the wear and tear on that 18 machine right behind Leverall. A lot of bumping and door slamming tonight. Carpenter with a nice solid looking machine out there. Total of 3/4 second lead over Barnes. Barnes looking to close that gap here on lap 1 and 17. May take him a couple laps to get there. He's coming. Cook now looks to the inside of Leverall into the backstretch. Going to do a late lift move there in turn 3 to take over that inside. And he'll have third position. Carpenter into the front stretch. Less than 30 laps remain in this race. Barnes now on the bumper, going to try to do a little bump and run. Letting Carpenter know he's there. Cook got around Leverall. And now Tanner Cook looks to be behind the 46. Oh, some contact to Barnes. Still trying to bump and run. The way these cars are set up here tonight, it's going to make it even tough to get the guy tight. As we said before, these are tanks, and Leverall's going to muscle his way into third position, get around Tanner Cook, but Tanner Cook's going to rally back out of turn number 2. He's going to try to shoot the gap, didn't have the room. Oh, and Barnes nearly taken out Carpenter. Carpenter's going to go for a spin on the infield. An unfortunate event there. He's going to run slow on the track. So Kyle Leverall has taken over the race lead. He crosses that start finish line. It'll be less than 25 laps to go. And now Timothy Barnes, just about 2 car lengths gap behind the 7, the Bojangles Chevrolet of Kyle Leverall. Out of turn number 4 into the front stretch, into lap 128. And Barnes really muscling his way through, will bump the 7 car, gets him a little bit tight out of turn number 2, takes the inside and takes over the race lead. But Leverall's going to work his way back out of turn number 4 to the inside. Beautiful move. And Tanner Cook says, I'm going to make it 3 wide. Leverall will have the best line out of 2. As we saw Barnes to the high side, Cook to the extreme low, and a 1-2-3. Leverall, Barnes, Cook ends back up single file here on lap 130. Kyle Leverall into turn number 3. 46 of Timothy Barnes in second, the 18 of Tanner Cook in third. Boy, if Tanner Cook really wanted to dive it down there in turn number 2 like he's been doing all night, he might have had a shot to be side by side with Barnes, but he's going to get it here in turn number 3 and 4. Side by side for second position. Cook's to the inside of Barnes. And he's working that Hardy Chevrolet into second position. He's got it just in front of Timothy Barnes. Here comes Kyle Leverall with the race lead. Total of 9 laps led now for the 7 Bojangles Chevrolet. Less than 17 laps to go. Can he hang on to the race lead? He's got a hungry 18 of Tanner Cook back behind him. And a very aggressive, muscle-moving 46 Superflow machine of Timothy Barnes. Looking to the inside, Tanner Cook trying to take the 7 of Kyle Leverott. He really dived it this time around. No, he's going to save the grip on the tires. Into the back stretch.
All right, man, caution is out.
We've
Caution
got
is
an
out.
incident, and it looks to be Brad Carpenter spinning out. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. Carpenter's self-spin here. One lap prior as we see how he's been running. Still has damage on the right side of that car. Right here. Gets some contact with the apron and the rear end comes around on him, snaps back, and he's going to travel up the track into the wall right before turn 3. And oh wow, pretty much a dead stop. Normally you see guys kind of do a skater, what we call a skater deflect, like when you're watching ice hockey and they deflect off the wall. But unfortunately that one, it's almost like the wall just grabbed him and stopped him. So he's down on pit road. Heavy damage on the 31 machine. Here's what your top 5 looks like. Leverott, Cook, Barnes, Bundin, and Carpenter. Although Carpenter down on pit road. Coming up tomorrow night, the Digital Forge lineup. Loose Lug Nuts Racing League in action with their Street Stock Series. Catch that action at 10 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern. Monday night, the Short Track National Showdown's back in action with their Street Stock Series. Tuesday nights starts the series off, the Children's Dream Racer Cup Series. Gen 6 cars started off at Daytona with the Anarchy Motorsports League, and next Wednesday night, the Modified Madness Tour rolls in to continue that tour at Five Flags. Find all the information and more on our website, forgebroadcasting.com, or on Facebook. Hey, give us a like there. Just look up Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Lights off the pace car into the backstretch out of turn number 2. We'll have 10 laps remaining when we get the green flag here. Kyle Leverott to set the pace as the pace car is now in.
Green flag.
Green flag flies. We are back to the race. Tanner Cook pretty much driving up the bumper of the 7 of Leverott. And we've got 10 laps to go. Barnes sliding to the outside of Cook. A nice little side-by-side battle here into turn number 3. Leverott solid into first. Here comes Robbie Bundin back behind Tanner Cook. Side-by-side, Cook and Barnes into turns 1 and 2 with 9 laps to go. And it looks like Cook's going to move into second position, but here comes Bundin to the inside of Barnes. Out of turn number 4, they're going to make some contact. Barnes nearly missing the wall as he got driven up the track pretty high. Barnes now to the outside of Bundin, still side-by-side race action in the third turn. Robbie Bundin takes over third position with 8 laps to go, but here comes Kyle Barnes to the inside. He's going to dive it down in turns 1 and 2, and now Barnes to the inside of Bundin. He's going to go back into third. So Leverott, 6 laps to go. Can he hang on to this lead and bring that Bojangles Chevrolet to victory tonight here at Langley? Hard-fought battle for this Hardee's 18 of Tanner Cook. He's going to come out of turn number 4 into the front stretch with 5 laps to go. Trying to hold off that Superflow 46 of Barnes. 4 more laps now for the number 7 car as he works his way into turn number 1. Tanner Cook just about 3/4 of a second behind him. Trying to close that gap, seeing if he can give Leverall a run for the money and for the checkered, and it looks like he's gaining some ground here out of turn number 4. From 3/4 of a second to a half a second, picked up a 1/4 second. Tanner Cook moving towards that 7 car into the backstretch. 3 laps to go. Leverall now out of turn number 4. We'll see the white flag the next time he crosses the start-finish line. 2 laps remain for this guy right here. Kyle Leverall, the New England driver here tonight, started 5th, is currently leading. Total of 25 laps led. The white flag's in the air one more time. Can he do it? Oh, Barnes is going to dump Cook here on the last lap. And Barnes, oh wow. Barnes is going to, oh, they're going to spin out. Unbelievable finish. As we see the fireworks in the air there. Off of turn number 3. And Kyle Leverall has taken victory here. Well, victory burnout in the front stretch there to the left side of your screen as we watch the fireworks. And a very happy number 7 car of Kyle Leverall. Burning down what's left of those tires in the front stretch.
Honestly,
So as we
never
look to
expected
get
be
a
there.
driver interview now with the number 7 car, Kyle Leverall joins me to talk a little bit about tonight's race, his expectations coming in here to Langley. What did you expect, and how do you feel about taking the victory here in the Fort Chiswell 200?
Wow, Dustin, I can't even, don't even know what to say right now. I thank my sponsors, Bojangles. They gave me a good car tonight. I honestly didn't expect to win tonight, but you don't always have to have the fastest car in a short track, and that's nice. Those guys were really racing hard. That allowed me to catch back up to them, and Kyle and Tanner got tangled up a little bit, and I was able to get around them, and that was it. I'm just stoked. This is my first win with any CRA series.
Well, you definitely talking about other CRA series. Been following you a lot at the Modified Madness Tour. You put away the short wheel car, open wheel car, I should say, and put on this K&N car here tonight, and you get behind the wheel of it. Things pretty much words described I heard from other drivers like driving a tank out there. As we see, you got some heavy damage all over that car. Did it feel like you were in a tank tonight?
These cars are pretty big for a short track like Langley, short, fairly flat. It's hard to get it around. There's a lot of weight to these cars. It's definitely a lot different than the modifieds. I'm a northern guy myself, so I prefer the modifieds, but it's always nice to be able to get into a full fender car and just have at it.
Well, excellent job here done tonight. Total of 27 laps led here at Langley. You're going to receive the prize victory here for winning the Fort Chiswell RV Park 200. Congratulations again, Kyle. We'll look forward to seeing more action out of you next Wednesday night at the Modified Madness Tour.
Thanks, Dustin.
Well, there you have it, folks. Very happy number 7 car. Going to continue to do a little bit of burnout action down there on the front stretch. So, what a good night of racing it was here. A lot of bumping, banging, a lot of drama here at Langley. End up finishing out. Let's take a look at the summary. 11 lead changes, 4 total cautions in the 150-lap event. Results on the screen. Leverall takes victory. Bundin, Barnes, Cook, and Carpenter round out the top 5. Heath Smith, after his unfortunate event, will finish 6th. David Rockley and Corey Bodnut. Nathan Hurlbert rounding out the grid. Joshua Hart, fortunately not able to make it due to some engine trouble. And that will pretty much round out the field here this Thursday night. Again, this is a special event put on by the Championship Racing Association. And the Good Sam Ford Chiswell RV Park 200 comes to a close. Catch the CRA Modified Madness Tour next Wednesday night. You can find them on the web, championshipracingassociation.com. That's going to do it for us, folks. We'll be back in action tomorrow night with the Loose Lug Nuts Racing League in their Street Stock Series tomorrow night at 10 p.m. But I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thanks for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network, and we'll see you tomorrow night.